Hey guys, it's Carla. Today I'm starting with just raw chipboard with my outline sketched on. And if you want this outline, you can go to my Facebook page in the description below, and that's where I post all of my free traceables and free reference photos. So you can just print those off and use them. So I'm just using a large flat synthetic brush to cover the background in white. And very loosely. I don't want it to be like smooth or anything. And then I'm mixing up a color with this is also a synthetic brush, just a round one. And I'm just very loosely putting in some color into the wings. And I'll go back over this with brighter colors and darker colors and lighter colors. And the main thing is just to get all of the butterfly covered in color. Typically, I like to put the darker colors closer to the body, and then as you go out further in the wings, use lighter colors, but that's just personal preference. But also, once you go back in with the black in the butterfly, then this really helps to have the lighter colors out toward the edge of the wings. But I'm just very, very loosely scumbling this in. I want to keep my brush strokes really loose, keep my brush moving, and see, I'm just coming back in with a little bit darker, so you can just play around with it and get the colors you want. And if you do it while it's all still wet, then you can kind of blend them together and do different things with them. So just play around with those colors. And now I'm mixing up a gray shade for my for the ferrule on my paintbrush, and this is just the base color. And guys, if y'all want this, to order some of this chipboard, I'll put that link below too. It's fun to paint on because it's got that natural color to it, and so it's kind of like, especially with this loose style of painting, it's kind of nice to leave some of that kind of peeking through. So it's just a nice color, and it's a lot less expensive than canvas, stretched canvas or canvas panel. And you can paint on both sides of this because they're both the same. And it's about the thickness of the backing on a picture frame. It's kind of like that. I guess they use this kind of thing for that. But anyway, I'm just filling in color right now, and on the handle of the paintbrush, I want it darker toward the bottom and lighter toward the top. And in fact, this whole thing is going to be like that because I've got my light coming from the top. So like right here, I'm putting in a little bit darker shade of gray toward the bottom to make it look like it's in shadow. And I did the same thing with the handle. And then I'm going to, on this top edge, very loosely brush in a highlight there. So this gives the illusion of it being round. And then there's little creases here that kind of holds everything in place. So just tapping those in. A little shadow right underneath the ferrule and beside those highlights. So now I'm going to start on the black in my butterfly. And obviously the body, the head and body is black. So I'm just using a small round brush for that. And the legs that are holding on to the paintbrush. Now put a little highlight on the head and the first little section on the body. And now with black, I'm going to start on the wings. So they're almost completely outlined in black, but I'm just barely touching the canvas because I kind of want it to skip around and not be a real thick line. And that's just for the outline. But then I want to go back, and on the tips of the wings, there's going to be some thicker black areas. And you can just kind of make up this pattern or just follow what I'm doing, but this black area will be where you can go back and put like white dots or something like a lot of butterflies have. So, and this black really pops against the brighter colors in the butterfly and in the wings, and I am going to go back and brighten up those colors even more, because even after this black is on there, you can still go back and put bolder and brighter colors into the wings. So now with a very, very light touch, barely touching the canvas with the tip of the brush, I'm putting in the veins in the butterfly, and I'm just making these up as I go. They just kind of go in different directions. Some of them form Y's, V's and Y's, and some don't. So just kind of scumble those in. And then again, with a very light touch, put in the antennas. And then the little shadows between the bristles. Barely touching the canvas. All right, now I want some paint on the tip of the brush. So I'm just using this magenta color, and quite a bit of it. I'm putting it on there. They're pretty thick. And I didn't tell you what colors I have on my palette. I have, from top to bottom, I have white, raw sienna, magenta, yellow, and black. So I'm just forming little droplets of paint coming off the tip of the brush. You could really get creative and put kind of a puddle of paint down at the bottom or something like that. So different things you could do with this. So I'm just tapping in those little white dots in the black. Now I'm going back and putting in some bolder colors. I'm just going between my black lines, so like I said, even though the black is on there, you can still come back and brighten up your colors. If the black is still wet, you want to make sure you don't touch it, because it will mix with this bright color and make a not so bright color. Now I've watered down some black, and I decided I wanted this, the shadow at the bottom of the handle to be a little bit darker. This just adds more contrast and more dimension. And then also with the black watered down, I want to put a little shadow underneath the butterfly, because like I said, my light is coming from the top, so the butterfly would be casting a little shadow onto the handle. And then I want to make sure I put my little glares of light onto the paint, but because that's what makes it look wet. Now I also decided I wanted to put a little darker shade down here. This is just watered down gray, to add more dimension and depth to the bristles. All right, now with watered down white, I'm just going to scumble in. This is very watered down. I'm just kind of scumbling it into the wings to soften the color a little bit. And you don't have to do this, but it's just something I decided I wanted. But it just kind of softens the colors. All right, and that's it, guys. Hope you all like this and maybe give it a try. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and God bless you.